Adam Taxin with Daniel Greenfield, a.k.a. Sultan Knish, talking about his column for Monday, June 25th, 2012, called Why the Newsroom is Good News for Republicans. And that's in italics, the Newsroom, because it's a new show by Aaron Sorkin. Daniel Greenfield's columns can be found at sultanknish.blogspot.com. Daniel, thanks for joining me, and let me just start off by asking you to give a little background about what the Newsroom is.
Well, some people may know, even those who don't have HBO. HBO has been doing a lot of liberal programming.
Sure.
And the Newsroom was supposed to be the new ultra-liberal series from Aaron Sorkin, who created The West Wing. It's set in the cable news channel where the anchor decides to toss aside any illusion that he's balanced at all and just spew liberal propaganda nonstop.
Is it supposed to be MSNBC, basically?
Pretty much, yes.
So what's it going to add? Why not just watch MSNBC? Or it's going to be a drama behind all of that?
Well, there isn't really any rationale for it. The closest thing to rationale for it is that this is how it should have been, because the whole premise is that it's set around 2010 or so, and that it's going to recap how the media should have covered everything in a much more biased way.
And what should the media have done differently, according to the Newsroom, which I trust you haven't seen yet?
Well, what the media should have done has been far more biased, agitate the liberal agenda at every turn, and give up any pretense of actually reporting news, and just keep repeating the talking points of the left and attacking Republicans. That's pretty much the concept here.
So sort of a Lenny Riefenstahl Newsroom is what you're saying.
More so than it is now.
Now,
except without any pretense of objectivity whatsoever.
Is the premise that that's what the public wants, or is it, as you sort of suggest in your column, that this is to appeal, that it's a form of escapism for frustrated liberals who realize that the American public don't actually want what they want?
It is. One of the reviews of Newsroom mentioned the West Wing as a curative during the Bush administration, and it really was, because they were able to escape the decline of the Clinton administration and the rise of the Bush administration to this kind of alternate reality where they were in charge and everything was going their way. And it's a security blanket. It's just kind of escaping into a world of illusion.
You write, the Newsroom reeks of its own smugness. It is entirely self-reflective. I'm wondering if you can elaborate on that with specific examples beyond what you actually wrote, which didn't give so many specific examples, even though you make your point. What are examples of the Newsroom smugness, and also just the smugness and self-reflection of liberals in general?
Well, if you've already seen The West Wing, then you have some idea. The concept is pretty much what Obama does: deliver a speech that blasts Republicans and lays out the issues, completely disregard the other side, and assume that delivering the best speech is what gets you the victory.
How are conservatives portrayed on the Newsroom?
Or the devil, naturally. The devil that's holding back progress, that's keeping prayer in schools, that's denying global warming science, and is dragging the country down.
You left out racist. They're not racists too, or is that?
Well, naturally they're racist. That's the full operating position.
All right, it sounds like a show that we really have to rush out and watch and order HBO for.
Oh, absolutely.
So
there isn't any reason for anybody to the right of Bill Ayers to have HBO anymore. That's what it is at this point.
So in other words, listening to this interview and listening and maybe reading your column or the audio version of this is probably the extent of the contact we all should have with the Newsroom during the course of our lifetimes, is what you're saying.
Oh, yes.
All right. Daniel Greenfield, thanks as always for your commentary.